Hello everyone, in this video I want to explain navigation in Android using Jetpack Compose. That means we will have one activity and one navigation graph. And I want the video to be as short as possible, and I want to explain as many details as I can to give you all the cases that you need to build your applications. Okay, if we jump right into it, this is the structure that we have, as you can see on the screen, and we have few composables. We have home, which has a button that takes us to our destination, and destination takes us back to home. And we have these two composables to simulate a login system where you have this nested navigation where you log in, you create your account, and after you create your account, you don't go back to login, you go back home. So that sort of nested navigation is important also to address. Now let's jump right into it. In main activity, the structure I have here at least is I have created this main app where I track everything outside of main activity, and main app is asking for this lambda, this finish activity, and this is something that we'll use in our home activity, our first our home composable, our first composable, our first screen. When we tap on the back button there, we will close the app, and that's to be able to do that from the composable. We need to bring that finish activity lambda. So here we can finish the activity. We send that here to our main app, and we have the scaffold where we would have the skeleton of the app, and we can have the top bar and the bottom bar all in the scaffold. And then we have the navigation graph. So the navigation graph is where all the composables will be. They will all be there, and it will be in charge of distributing what goes where. What we do is all the destinations we created, we added here to this object, and we don't have to, we can just use the stream manually, but just to have some sort of organization of what we're doing. And I have added already the home composable and the destination composables, but they don't have any navigation yet. So if I run the app, it's actually running right now. Yeah, it's going to run. And if I run it, it says home. If I click here to go to destination, it does nothing. Okay, so if I expand here a bit, it does nothing. And if I want that to do something, let's see what happens here. I have home. Home had this back handler, which means if I tap a back button, which I don't have here, but if I tap on the back button, it will finish the activity. That's just something we add there. We don't have to worry too much about it. If I go to home, I have this on press button, which is called here when we press the button, and that's sort of how we can call that action that comes from outside of home, basically, if I explain myself correctly. So if we go to navigation graph, on press button, what do we want to do here? And here's what we define what we want to do with that button. And here we do navigation controller, and we say, okay, let's navigate where we want to navigate to our main destination, which is destination. And this is defined here. Like if I would say here, instead of the destination, if I would say path 2, then it would have to be path 2, right? Because these two needs to match. What the route here has to match where I'm navigating. But in this case, we're doing it like this. We're doing it like that. Yeah, main destination is destination. And if I do that, and if I run it again, we will have home, and then I tap on destination, and it goes to destination. Destination does nothing, and we can fix that very easily, saying, okay, nav controller, you're going to navigate to main destinations home. Okay, and then if we run it, then there we go, destination, and then from destination we can tap to navigate home. So that works. Now what happens if you have something, a process, which happens a lot? What happens if you have an embedded navigation, meaning let's say you want to log in and you have a login screen, but in the login screen the user can create an account. Okay, let's create an account, and if the user create the account, it doesn't go back to login, it goes all the way back. And sometimes if you have a checkout process, you have to select some products, confirm some information, payment information, then actually accept the checkout. So if that's the process, that's an embedded and a nested navigation. And this is how we're going to address that. We have to create a navigation here, and it needs two variables. It needs a start destination, which in this case is going to be login, which I don't have in here. So I'm going to declare login, which is going to be login. Then I'm going to use create account, and then I'm going to add as well, this is very important, root login, which is going to be root login. So then now we say, okay, navigation, the origin for navigation is going to be login, and then we can also add the root, which can be here. So the root is the name for these navigations, and we have root login. Okay, so we add that, open our lambda. Why did I add a plus here? Okay. And within our navigation now we add the composables that we need. So we need two composables. We need a composable that is going to be the login, and we need another composable that is going to be the create account. Create and login, and that's it. So in here we add login, and it has login already created. On login, what do you do? And then on login you call the navigation controller and navigate home. This is not done, it's not fully done, bear with. Okay, so that's what you do on login. Call the navigation controller and navigate home. But then there's also, you will say only login. Let's have a look. On login, we also have on create account, which we are going to add in there. So we have two actions. One is for login, one is for create account. So if we go back here, so on create account, what am I missing here? All right, sorry, this is outside of, this belongs here. Wait, what a mess I have. This doesn't go there. This is part of this. This goes here. This goes here. Yes. Let me, if I remove this, yeah, it's okay. So what I'm doing now on navigate, here I want to add another lambda for navigate, because something I need to do is using pop-up2. So pop-up2, what we do with this is main navigations, root login, and then we set inclusive equals true. So what this will do is, if I log in successfully here, it will pop up this backstack, and it will make sure this is not in the backstack, so this won't show again to our users. And I need to select inclusive, so it includes this view. So what this means is, when it goes back to this navigation, it will go back to root login, to the original. And we have to here add on create account, and what we want is nav controller navigate to main destinations create. And then if we are here in the composable create, you know what, let's see where we are at now. Let's run it. What we have is home, tab here to destination. I need to add a login button on home. Let's add a login button. Let's just copy this button and say we we need a new action that says on login pressed, and oh, you need, yes, and then this a new action is going to go here in the second button, and this button will say login. Okay, and then instead of adding things here, I will say on press button lambda, on login press lambda, do nothing for the preview, and then we go back here and we say, you know what, on login press I actually want you to nav controller, let's move this down, and on login press I want you to go nav controller navigate to main destinations. Instead of login, it has to be root login. So something important is that you don't want to move to any of the composables within this navigation. You want to always enter the navigation from the top. And now if I run it, let's see. We have, there you go, login. If I go to login, I can go to create account, but there's nothing there in create account. Cool. So if I go to create account, no, actually there's something in create account. What happens is in the login button, yes, in the navigation graph, in the login button, yes, I haven't declared the composable for on create here. So that's why it went blank. So let's add create account, and it's going to be like this. And actually I want it this way, and I want to add on account created. What I want you to do is navigation controller, navigate, main destinations, home, but then do the same thing we did before with the pop-up inclusive. So pop the back stack, and that's how we handle that. So now if we try again, let's see what happens. Log in. If you log in, goes back, click the back stack, create account. If you finish account creation, go back. So this is all simulating that we actually put our user in account, that we actually do Google sign in, that we actually handle everything, and we go back. Then we can go back to destination, back home. So this is just like a regular going to the destination and back. It's like a regular two composables just going back and forth. And then this is the login one is one that you will see a lot, where you have a navigation on the top holding a lot of composables and popping the back stack using the pop-up to function. I think this covers everything that you need for navigation. I will leave this code in my GitHub. I will leave a link to my GitHub on the video and on the video below, and like below the video. And I will also leave a link actually to my Fiverr account. So in case you need help with something, you can just reach out there, and you can also reach out in the comments in case you want any other type of videos. But I think this should covers everything you need. And the structure, remember, you have main activity, main app, and in there you have the scaffold, and you have the nav navigation graph. There are a few things. One thing that can be a bit tricky is when you are declaring this navigation host controller, you might do navigation controller, and that's not what you need. You need a navigation host controller. So keep that in mind. And that's it. I'll leave it there. Like I said, I'll leave the GitHub link and the Fiverr link, and reach out if you need any help. Okay.